All right, everybody, so we're back for lab number 9 today. I've updated all my lecture and labs to reflect that we are now doing everything online. Also, my office hours, I think I'm in the process of opening up a Zoom call. So hopefully, once I get the Zoom call figured out, I can send an invitation. So if anybody would want to come to a Zoom office hour, I haven't decided the day yet, but I will send an email out and I'll just hang out in the Zoom call if anyone wants to show up and ask questions. That would be an option. I think you do have to make an account due to there a breach that had been happening with Zoom. I know a lot of you don't have access to high-speed internet or may have issues getting online with Zoom. So in that case, if you're unable to attend a Zoom call office hour, just feel free to reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help you via email or call, a Skype call, or anything else that you think would be appropriate for an office hour. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our lab number 9 here. Okay, so just a few reminders for our labs that are due tomorrow, everything that's due tomorrow. Make sure you turn in lab number 8, which is our island biogeography lab that we had to do with the lizards on the islands. So you could either take a photo of your work and email it to me, or put it in Dropbox, or you can scan it if you have access to a printer scanner combo. That would be a better resolution for me, but I will accept photos that you take with your smartphone or your iPad and then send to me. If that's easier for you, just make sure you include all of the pages, and please try to include them in order so it makes grading a little bit easier. The second thing that we have due here today is our Module 8 quiz. That is going to be due by 11:59. That's just what I had for the time. I know I've been saying 6 in the past, but it is open till right before midnight. So make sure you get online and take your Module 8 quiz. Remember, it's open book, 20-minute time limit. This one is all about speciation and extinction that we covered last week in Module 8, and that was all of our online classes. So if you didn't get a chance to watch all the YouTube videos, you can still go back and do that. But again, it's open book, so hopefully you shouldn't have a problem with that. The next thing we have due here is our BioNews file number 3. So this is our final one. So I know a lot of you guys didn't enjoy the BioNews files. That is due April 7th. It was due sooner, but I pushed it back due to the second spring break week. So it is due April 7th now, which is going to be tomorrow. So make sure you turn that in. You can either submit it via Dropbox or you can email it to me. The prompt is the same as it's been. It's under Module 7 under Content. So if you forgot how to do it, please go back and review. Make sure you pick something from a reputable source. Make sure you include a works cited sheet, and also make sure you have your name on it and you're answering all of the prompts, 3 of the 4 prompts that it's asking you, and that you're also summarizing the article. And then lastly, make sure you guys are thinking about your presentation topics. So this is going to be due April 10th, the presentation topic, not the presentation. So make sure you're thinking on what you would like to do. I think I've only received maybe 1 of the topics that have been selected. So remember, you can't pick the same topic. So the sooner you get your topic in, the quicker that it'll be accepted and nobody else can choose that topic. So when you're selecting this topic, make sure you post under the thread in Module 8. There is a thread there. You can post what your topic is. And try to be specific. Don't just put lizards. Make sure you explicitly say what you want to talk about in your presentation with lizards. So I would appreciate that. So make sure you guys are turning all those things in, due tomorrow. Okay, and lastly here, these are the new assignments that are going to be due 1 week from tomorrow. This is going to be on Tuesday, April 14th. So you'll have 1 week to turn all of these in. We have module number 9 quiz. That's going to be due on April 14th. So everything that we're covering this week on taxonomy is going to be on that module number 9 quiz. But again, open book, 20-minute time limit. So make sure you're watching all of the YouTube videos of me presenting our lectures, so that way you can be fully prepared for it. And then also our lab number 9, the lab that we're doing today on communicules, is going to be due 1 week from today. So make sure that you're answering all of the questions. Make sure you're actually watching the YouTube video. If you have questions, feel free to send me an email. I'm checking my email very frequently now. And if there's any issues, I'd be happy to help. We're trying to make do. And then lastly, our third assignment here that you have due 1 week from today, I guess, is the making of the fittest. So this is our evolving switches, evolving bodies quiz. This is going to be due April 14th. It's a 15-minute video that I've included in the email that I sent out to you, and I've also put a post on it on how to find it on Cobra. It's only 15 minutes. The questions are, I believe, are 9 questions. They're pretty easy points, so make sure you're completing that. Again, it's due April 14th, so a week from today's lab. Okay. All right, so the lab that we're doing today is lab number 9. So we're almost through with the semester. We're getting there. So today, lab number 9 is on communicules. So hopefully you all can read this. It's in our biology lab packet. So if you still have your lab manual and you haven't chucked it yet, it's in here. It's lab number 9. But if you have thrown away your lab packet, you can also find it in Cobra. And if for some reason you're having a very hard time trying to download it in Cobra or find it, make sure you send me an email and I'll email it to you. I just want to make sure you guys have all of the materials that you need to complete the lab. So it's in your lab packet. So we're looking at the classification of communicules, which is an imaginary creature. They don't exist. They've just been created for this lab, which is kind of nice because it helps us learn how to classify all of our communicules here. So we're going to talk about the 3 parts of the lab that we're doing today. So there's 3 components, and remember it's due a week from today. The first component is our taxonomy component. So you're going to take the 14 living communicules here that we have in this packet, which are these cute little creatures here. I'll hold this up for you. So these are our 14 living communicules, and you're going to be classifying those based on the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species here. Okay, so just the 14 is who you're classifying. It's hard to classify extinct species. Also, part number 2 here, you're going to be using those same 14 living communicules and create a taxonomic classification. You're going to construct a phylogenetic tree here. So if you guys can all see this little phylogenetic tree, you're going to be classifying them. Oh gosh, here in this part 2. And then lastly, you're going to be using the communicule fossils to create the phylogeny. So we have all of the fossils. We have a lot more fossils. Then we have the living communicules. This is the front side, and you also have the back side. So one important thing to note about creating a tree for the living communicules and the fossil communicules is it's a lot easier to just cut them up and to move them around and place them on the tree. But one of the issues with that is in your book, it's on front and back. So that's kind of a problem. So you can either print out a second one, or you can do it on Microsoft Word and just move them around that way. But I will require you to take a photo of your tree that you created and send it to me for points. So make sure you're getting those points, as easy points, and hopefully it won't be too much of a hassle. Now the other thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to play a short video that goes a little bit deeper into depth that Brian Krall had created for the Communicule Lab for us to watch. And it's only about 3 minutes long, but I'm going to play it. And then that way, if you have any questions, hopefully they're answered there in that short little video. So you'll see it right on the screen here, and you'll still see me. I'll still be in this little box, but you'll be able to hear him give his presentation on the communicules. Okay?
Okay, so for this lab, you're going to try to determine the evolutionary relationships between the individuals found in this communicule taxonomic group. So I don't know, it could be a kingdom, for example, of communicules, and you've got to sort out the evolutionary relatedness by building phylogenies. Okay, so part one is saying, okay, let's try to construct a phylogeny based upon just the living communicules, just the ones that are alive. And you do that by going to the living communicules here, cut them out, literally just print this out, cut them out, and then arrange them and classify them as you see fit into the different orders, families, genus, and species, however you see fit. Okay, now just don't be random. Do your best, try to organize them, and then based on that, you're going to go ahead and construct a phylogenetic tree, which is going to look very similar to something like this, only this is a real simple one, which is 3 species. You're going to have more. Okay, then what you're going to do is once you construct that, you're going to compare that phylogeny to the fossil record. Okay, so you're going to look at the fossil record of these living communicules and then construct a phylogeny, and that's where these come into play. There's a lot of them, and so what you're going to do is you're going to cut them all out, and these numbers right here give you some information, that 2 and that 1. So the numbers in parentheses indicate the age of each fossil in millions of years. So this tells you that this fossil is 1 million years old, which means it would be right up in this range, so you would cut it out and place it right about here. Okay, a 6 million year old fossil would go about here. A 14 million year old fossil would go here, and a 17 million year old fossil would go along here. So cut them out, arrange them in terms of their age, and then go ahead and reconstruct a phylogeny and tie it back to the living communicules. So on this page, you're going to have this large branch. It's going to look like this big shrub of the evolutionary lineage of the living communicules, because all your living communicules go up here in the present. And then this is looking back at the history, and you're going to try to reconstruct that. So you can cut these out, paste them on this page right here, and then you're welcome to take a photo of it if you'd like, and then upload that photo. And also don't forget to answer the questions that we've got here. So let me know if you have any questions or if this doesn't clarify things.
All right, so hopefully that made a lot of sense for you guys. I thought that was a really nice video that he did. But just keep in mind when you're arranging the living and the fossil communicules, what do they, we know the fossils, like Brian had said, how old they are based on how many millions of years old they are. And then for the living communicules, just take a look at them and just kind of look at them. Remember, we're trying to classify those based on their taxonomy. So some of them look a little bit more like snails, some of them look a little bit more like slugs, some of them look a little bit more like frogs. or some sort of mushroom looking thing. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to classify them. So luckily there's only a few pages. So in your book it is lab number 9, and it does go from page 79 to page 86. So make sure you are on the right pages and you're doing the correct lab. And then I want to make sure that you all know that you have to take photos of your lab and send them to me of your communicule tree, your phylogeny here, and then also make sure that you're sending me the questions, you're answering those as well, like he said. So hopefully this makes sense. If there's questions on it, just please feel free to reach out to me via email, preferably not on the day that it's due. So take a look at it. I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys are holding in there, and that you have enough time to finish all of this up. So, all right, I'll see you guys later.